Psychology has such a huge impact in the game of chess, and that you can find so few lessons on this topic. Perhaps it's hard to make an entertaining or educational video about this without a chessboard, but I'm going to try to explain you why it can and will revolutionize your game of chess, and why it is important to be changing your cognitive profile, your approach to the game, in order to become a successful chess player. Let's start with the basics. When you're learning the game of chess, there are a couple of different parts of the brain that you're using in order to play the right moves. So one I would be calling the subconscious mind. It involves your intuition, and that is basically driven by pattern recognition. You can recognize some situations from the experiences that you have had, and you could quickly evaluate the positions or see the right moves right away. So when Grandmaster is saying his pattern recognition kicks in, usually he means that he has seen something like that before, then he only needs to calculate a little bit to validate the move and the combination. And the better player you become, the more patterns you could recognize. Now, for everyone, including the world champion, there is also conscious part of the brain that is working. And usually when you're working with those, you're using some kind of frameworks. Like if you're doing a tactical puzzle, you know perhaps that you create a list of candidate moves that consist of checks, captures, threads. Then you try to select one and analyze it. If it doesn't work, you go to the next one, etc., etc. However, this chess knowledge is only going to likely make you a successful chess player if you have the right psychological or cognitive profile. An interesting paper came out in around 2006 where they had two groups of players. One was successful chess players and the other one was not. And even though both had chess knowledge, participants of both groups, they exhibited very different psychological profiles or cognitive traits, which you could see on the left and the right side of the screen. And I, someone who has been teaching for a living for the last 11 years, have to agree, I see it all the time in my students. Now, the good thing is that even though you're exhibiting the traits on the left side of the screen, like avoidance of reality, external blame, you're blaming your resources, outside factors. With avoidance of reality, what I mean is, usually people think they're very underrated. They're 1200, but they're saying, if I really try my best, and if work wasn't as stressful, I would be 1400 in a week. I see it all the time, and those are usually students that are progressing a little bit slower. Unrealistic planning, they're thinking that their opponents are more often going to make a mistake rather than the right move. But even if you're exhibiting these traits, the good thing is that this is something that you can change. For example, think about cognitive behavior therapy. It's all about changing your mental frameworks that you're using to interpret and storage the information and the approach towards the problems. And you can then develop the right psychological profile, which is exhibited by successful chess players that you can see on the right and is pointed in green. So for example, accepting the rating that you have, accepting wherever you are, if it's a candidate master, or if it's 1200, or if it's a total beginner, taking responsibility for the moves that you're making, that is your fault, that you made the wrong move, but you can do better. A really big one on the right here is also problem-solving mindset. So what this means is that when we're encountering a problem, we have this mindset to be attacking and tackling the problem, rather than running away from it, avoiding the solution, or using any kind of blame where I am not good, I'm not talented. Let's see what we have and what we can do with what we have in order to progress faster and more effectively. Operative approach and emotional intelligence, these are big ones, especially with emotional intelligence, is understanding what I'm feeling, because you're evaluating chess positions and chess moves all the time, and those evaluations are not always rational. You're thinking, I'm not going to castle right now, because the last time I castled to that side of the board, I lost 3 games in a row. And so your evaluation is coming from fear. If you could recognize that I'm afraid of doing that, then you will try to rationalize that fear, whether this time it's the same situation, maybe there is something that you learned from previous experiences that you can improve. So understanding what are you feeling, what is the emotion, understanding that it is evaluating the position and your emotions are playing a big role, then you could rationalize and analyze whether it's something that is giving too much weight or too little weight. And in combination with the analytical brain that you're having, you can make far, far better decisions in your game. So this is something that I want to give away today. It's the first video that I personally have made on chess psychology. I would love to do many more. I have many more things to say, but I'm interested if you are interested in such topic and whether this is going to be somewhat popular. If you do find this interesting, please leave a comment in the chat. You could also consider hiring me as your personal online chess coach. Thank you very much for watching this, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you very much.